Welcome in. It's Friday forecast time. Andy Kendeigh along with Sean Callahan, Memorial Stadium. It's good to be back in the States and good to be back here in Lincoln, Nebraska. First off, let's put a bow on last weekend. Tough start for Nebraska on the field, but overall, Sean, what kind of experience was it for not only the team but the university as a whole, the people who went?
Yeah, you look at the ratings, 4.4 million people watched that game, significantly more than a year ago on week 0 on the same window. So it was a loss, a 3-point loss for Nebraska, but I think everybody that went had an unbelievable time. I think it was a great flex for Nebraska's fan base in the state because, let's face it, how many other fan bases would have traveled like that, especially the context of Nebraska's record the last few years. So it was an awesome experience. You feel for all the fans that went. Nebraska wasn't able to win that game because we know Nebraska had every chance with 2 different 11-point leads to come out of there victorious, and it didn't go their way.
Yeah, let's talk about that. What was the difference in that game at Aviva Stadium?
A few things. I think the line of scrimmage, though, is where you got to start. The Northwestern offensive line only allowed 1 pressure the entire game. Nebraska thought their front 4 could get home. They only blitzed 6 times, according to Pro Football Focus, meaning more than 4 people came only 6 times. So Nebraska thought their 4 could get there. They only got there once. So that automatically, I think, put things in the hole where Helinski, the quarterback for Northwestern, had all the time he wanted. And then on the other side of the ball, Nebraska's their defense just struggled to stop the run. But I also thought Nebraska's offense, they didn't have a running game rhythm, and I think that's a priority this week. They got the big home run from Anthony Grant, but they need a more consistent running game against North Dakota.
Did it surprise you there wasn't as much push, especially because Nebraska came up with some wrinkles we haven't seen a whole lot of in years past with the unbalanced line and that type of thing, and they still struggled running the football? And
you heard Scott Frost say, like, look, this is the Big Ten, and it's very difficult for anybody just to muscle somebody off the line of scrimmage. You have to have a little bit more deception, off balance. That's why that option offense last year worked so well. It had a lot of deception. It was hard to defend. It kept you off balance. I think Nebraska tried to just go traditional NFL kind of power battery ram run plays, and they weren't getting a push. I mean, there was really no push. Anthony Grant, his one run almost felt more him doing it, and that was an elite level cutback that he made. But they need to get a rhythm going, and then that's just going to open things up for Casey Thompson. We saw what he can do. Give him a run game, and then I think he could be that much better.
And not just that, but also Trey Palmer, Isaiah Garcia-Castaneda, even Travis Vokalek when healthy. I mean, they've got some weapons. They're going to score some points and move the football. And that had to be a little bit encouraging.
Yeah, you saw all those guys do different things throughout the game. I think they've added a lot of depth. Vokalek left with a foot injury in the game. I'll be interested. I would be surprised if we see him this week, but maybe we will. I think another week, though, would do him wonders. But he definitely looked like an NFL tight end at times in that game in Dublin.
Bounce back week. So how do they bounce back? You got the sense, at least here on Tuesday, that they've moved past the Dublin experience, and now they just need to kind of get their feet underneath them and maybe kind of, how do you say it, get some confidence and do some of the positivity things that they've done during camp and really show everybody what they're all about.
Yeah, they've got to execute at a high level. They got to win, obviously, but it's got to be a high level of execution. What you would expect when a Power 5 plays an FCS. If Nebraska struggles to run the ball, if they struggle to get pressure on the quarterback with their front, this could be a long season. So I think it has to start in this game. They need a better line of scrimmage, and it has to show. If it doesn't show in an FCS game, there's going to be a lot more doubters. And I think they've got to show that, hey, we've got material and we got to play better up front.
Yeah, they played an FCS opponent last year in Fordham. Now it's North Dakota. They were 5-6 last year, I believe. 5-6 last year, and they come out of the Missouri Valley Conference. And last year they were in the fourth quarter. They either had the lead or a chance to take the lead in every game last season. So that sounds familiar, doesn't it?
Yeah, Scott Frost even got a little joking about that.
Right.
But this game is what it is. It's a 2:30 game. Everybody knows what the intent of it is, but we've seen teams lose these kinds of games too. I think for Nebraska, they've got to play at a high level and execute clean. And just play at the line of scrimmage. And if they do, they're going to have no trouble in this game.
My question finally for you, as we wrap up Friday Forecast, is what kind of reception you think this team will get on Saturday at Memorial Stadium? And you got to believe that the fans they'll bring the passion and the energy, but what else?
Well, the team's got to play well. The reception will be there if this team goes out and makes big plays and execute. But if they go out and look like a team that has jet lag still and not inspired because it's North Dakota, the crowd's going to let them know. There's going to be grumbles in the crowd. So I think it is important they come out with some energy, and that will get the crowd right into the game. But if they screw around for a quarter and a half and look flat, it could be a pretty interesting atmosphere here on Saturday.
Well, it should be fun. It's a 2:30 kick. It's Nebraska and North Dakota in the home opener, and it's on the Big Ten Network.